So, whoever sees this, it's okay to take it slow. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to stop for a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. And this is particularly important for those women who also happen to be fire signs in terms of their sun, moon, and rising sign. Because one of the things that I've learned, my sun sign is Leo, the August kind. So one of the things I was talking to someone earlier about is I've always had this energy. You know what I mean? Like I remember, and shout out to you, Maya. So one of my best friend, my sister, right? From long time. She said when we first met, like all of my friends, we had this group, and my friends would always say, why are you up? Why are you up so early? And with all of this, why? And I told my mom, I was like, y'all know those little firebugs? I was like, I got a firebug in my ass, For real though. And if you're a Leo or a fire sign and you're a woman, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But one of the challenges for me, y'all, one of the hardest things I've had to work through, or not even, it just was a lot for me to learn how to rest. And I'm about to cry just saying that, because when we think rest, let me just, how I was thinking sometimes of rest, like when I rest, it's because I'm sick, right? There's something wrong. Let me say it that way. There's something wrong if I'm actually resting. And so interestingly enough, as we're coming up on this full moon, in Scorpio on the 1st, and today when I got up, I was feeling real, you know what I'm saying? Just, ugh. So I didn't actually get up until about 11. But I felt like, you know how you get that feeling and you feel like you feel yourself getting sick, like you feel like you're getting a flu or so, something like that. So that was the feeling, but then I was like, okay, I had to process and just kind of remember, like, just kind of breathe through the emotion. And breathe through what was coming up, for me to actually breathe and to get into my center, to really feel into what was going on, to feel what was happening internally, to test my own internal environment, my own environmental protection, if you may. And so, in that though, I decided, I'm like, no, we're just gonna rest. And I've been doing that more lately, but it just kind of all culminated today because how I was feeling energetically. But I'm sitting here and I'm cutting up these inserts. These are actually like certifications of pH balance, right? So these go in our, we have a toolkit that's called Karma. It's not even on the website yet, but now y'all know. It's called Karma. And it has a goldenrod tincture that was wild crafted. The herbs were wild crafted from the Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland, which is a military area, right? It's around this area. And so they were wild crafted. Yes. So anyway, they're part of this blend that is called Venus Love Mars Loves Venus. And the reason that is the title as I'm sitting here cutting out the pH balance certifications. Is because when they were putting these herbs together and putting this together, you know, for those of you who make tinctures, make herbs, do any sort of healing work, you know what I'm talking about. It's the, you know, the energy of the intention of the moment. And so these were made at a time when the moon, this was October of 25, a 9-year, when the sun and the moon were both in Libra, right? Which is balance. And so they've kind of just been sitting and just kind of doing their thing over time. And so I started packaging them, and I decided to put them in this set. And so what we've done is I've included, each one of them comes with a testing strip that it kind of fades like over time. And this was like, I literally did this one yesterday. So it's the tip, it's faded. But I'm still, you know, I just still include it because at the time that it was tested, you know, when the things were wet on the little stick here, you know, it certified that it's, you know, pH balance. And so we include this little card inside so you understand, you know, the spectrum of, you know, pH balance. Because these are just some of the things that I've learned to appreciate more so when I'm able to really slow down. You know, the little things, really adding the little things into whatever it is that, you know, I'm doing, whatever it is I'm creating. And so it required me to learn to cultivate that energy, because, like, again, very naturally high strung. It is that I am that I am. And so at some point I started focusing less on, you know, what I was doing for my career, which, you know, as an attorney. So those of you who know me know that, you know, for years I've practiced law. And so that's very high intensity, high stress, you know, just high, very high. So, at some point, and actually it started in 2020, that's when I started Conscious Creations. And at the time, it started with making, you know, again, just making body products, because, you know, one of the things I came to understand was, and understand, is that the skin is the largest organ. So what you put on your skin matters. And so, of course, that grew. Like, the more my system was recalibrated from what I was doing, the more commercial sort of brands, the more my internal reality started to, you know, to reflect that, and to kind of to clear out those things, allowing me to be able to slow down and to be able to really really feel what it's like to have a regulated nervous system. And it's wild when it's wild when you think about it. When you think about how many of us walk around with a dysregulated nervous system because of stuff, you know? And so since I've been making these toolkits, because I make products, but I'm now cultivating, you know, toolkits. So this is, you know, so different toolkits. This is a fragrance set that I'm putting together. This is actually for men. This one is called the King's Retreat. So you see that. It doesn't come with the Palo Santo. This is just for a special person, so it's included. So anyway, yeah, so in cultivating and putting together these packages and things like that, it's helping me so much more to just be in that moment, be in the experience, be in the now, and what that actually feels like. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah. And then you realize, you be like, what the fuck I've been doing, right? So anyway, there's that. But this is why I say specifically, I just okay, it's okay to cry. It's okay. I know. But that's exactly why. That's exactly why you have to take the time to just be with yourself, to take the time and just breathe, right? To breathe, because sometimes what starts to well up in our emotional waters is based on those experiences and what has already been written into the cells, right? So the more we work on clearing the tissues, clearing these patterns literally from our cellular structure, right? I have a tincture here called Power Plant Moves. This is available on the Conscious Creations website, right? You know, like these are the things that I do because I recognize the power in them. And so being able to slow down helped me so much to go from practicing law, litigating, high pressure, all of the things, because well, let me child, listen, when I get to going, but it helped me to slow down, to be able to see these things, recognize them, and to actually appreciate them. And when I say appreciate, I literally mean how can I bring more value to this thing? How can I bring out its greatest essence? How can I preserve its integrity in such a way that when whomever else comes across, you know, this plant, they are familiar with the energy of the plant because it has spoken to them on such a deep level, cellularly, that it literally rewrites your code to be able to make these power plant moves. You understand? And so these are the things that I learned, you know, by just not, you know, practicing law and doing all the things that I was doing before, but now doing this, you know what I mean? And now, again, like I told y'all, I'm literally in the process of relocating, because if y'all see like how much space this stuff takes to create, and this isn't it, right? But it takes so much space to be able to create, you know, these sets and these products, because you know, the material, all the things. And that's the part a lot of times that people, when you buy a product, you don't really see all of the things that goes into what it is that you're receiving, you know. But, you know, I'm grateful to have had the time truly to be in this creative space, to be able to bring these packages, to be, and quite frankly, they aren't actually packages. I mean, they come in packaging, but what is inside, that's the power. That's the power. And I'm so grateful because, you know, I know what has gone into each and every product, right? Each and every one. And I'm grateful, so grateful for that, you know. But it's all because I had the opportunity to slow down. Now that's a whole other thing in terms of, you know, how you know, the effect on the finances and all that kind of stuff. That's actually, I wrote about that in my book. It's available on my website at thetishahillman.com, and that's the TISHAHILLMAN.com. The name of the book, y'all, is called The Chapter 13 Plan: Spiritual Recovery, Reclamation, and Reorganization of My Divine Birthright from a Morally Bankrupt System. And in that book, I talk about just all of the things, just, you know, as an attorney, the things that I was going through, but just as a person, right? As a person, as the goddess that I am, all of the things that I was experiencing during a particular period. Hello, Oreo. During a particular, I know. Okay. All right. Listen, we'll go in a few minutes. Okay. You know, the things that I was experiencing during, he's a Leo, y'all. He's the July kind. Y'all, this just mad aggressive, right? I know. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, we'll go out in a minute. So I'm gonna have to cut this short, y'all, because Oreo got to go outside, and plus he just want to see y'all. You say hi. You say hi. You say hi. Okay. Okay. All right. That's what I'm talking. So that's the July Leo right there. You see? Exactly. Anyway, y'all. Shout out to the fire signs. I love y'all. I'm so grateful for y'all. And shout out to all of the other, everybody bringing together bringing that balance. Because for me, like I said, it was being able to be more in the water element and the emotional, to clear the emotional field. Okay. He's getting very aggressive now, y'all. So I know, and I'm telling the people about your listen, look, you see, I'm telling them about your aggressive behavior. Plus they can see you. You know this, right? They can see you. Now you gonna act different now? You gonna act different? No? Okay. All right. He gonna put on a show. Okay. All right, y'all. So clearly Oreo's the drama. There we go. All right. So pick up the book on the website, TishaHillman.com. And you can go to consciouscreations.live. Y'all, I'm making some, it's so much going on, and I'm making updates on all of the websites, and because all of the things. So I'm doing this. So y'all check it out. And I hope, please go get, if you are interested in understanding and understanding on a deeper level what you're actually witnessing when it comes to, the fall of the patriarchy and all of the things, from an esoteric plus a legal perspective, then order the Tisha, order my book. He biting me. Order the chapter 13 plan on my website. Sir, I understand. Sir, calm down. Go sit. What did I tell you? You got to give me 2 minutes. I'm hanging up, right? Anyway, y'all. So the book should be sent out. I got an update from the publisher, from the printer today about shipping out the book. So I was hoping for sooner than that, but now we're looking at next week or so. Like he said, they're waiting on something that they should have next week. So y'all check that out. Go to my website, order that. And, I'm looking forward to having more conversations about all of these things because they matter. Because you do. So anyway, love yourself well. You deserve it.